guys, welcome back to Book Talk with Meg. My name is Megan for those of you who don't know. Hi, welcome, hope you stick around. If you decide to, do not forget to click the subscribe button down below. It'll notify you when I upload new videos. Today I'm back with another Book Review Tuesday where I review books that are either overhyped, underhyped, or book I feel you guys need to hear about. Today I'm here with a older book, but a very good book, and that is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. This is a young adult contemporary that centers around fandom. This book is 383 pages, and I rated this book a 5 out of 5 stars. So, concerning the plot of the story, this follows Eliza, and Eliza is a teenage girl who kind of sticks to the down low profile when it comes to her school and social life, and she doesn't like to be noticed. People have kind of bullied her at school. She does not have the easiest life. She does, however, have very present parents that are somewhat concerned with Eliza's life because Eliza spends most of her time online. The reason for Eliza spending most of her time online is because Eliza is the creator of this comic, which is called Monstrous Sea. Her parent thinks it's just a very basic hobby, but Eliza actually has millions of followers online under her name /alias, a lady constellation, and no one knows that Eliza is actually the writer of this comic. Come in this cute boy at school named Wallace, who was kind of very shy and doesn't really talk to people, but he's very big and he takes a lot of room, you know, kind of like a shy football player. And her homeroom teacher actually assigns Eliza to talk to Wallace and kind of show him around. That doesn't really stick, but they do find out some way that both of them are very big fans of Monstrous Sea. Wallace actually writes fan fiction about it, and then the story kind of unfolds from there. Eliza tries to keep her identity to herself as her relationship forms with Wallace. I really enjoyed the plot of this book. I think it really hooked me from the first page. I wasn't even planning on reading this book at first. I just kind of picked it up because I was in the mood for some kind of fandom book, opened it, read the first page, and I read the entirety of this book in about a day and a half, which for me means I really did enjoy this book. As for the characters, I really identified with the main character of Eliza. Eliza struggles with anxiety, which is very much represented in this book through the monsters, through her physical depiction of what anxiety feels like, through how she talks about it. I think the author did a very good job of depicting anxiety and kind of like using what I personally would say about anxiety in this book, and she kind of spoke words I wish I had the fluency to say. So I really enjoyed that aspect. I also enjoyed the fact that Eliza wasn't overly confident in herself. I think it was kind of upsetting to see how she lacked confidence, but in a way I feel like a lot of people can identify with that. How we know we have some talents, but then again we don't want to broadcast everything we do to the world, and we have these little things we want to keep to ourselves. Like Eliza, we have passions. I do love to write, but I don't showcase my writing, but Eliza has confidence for certain things and lacks confidence in others, which I think makes her an even more believable character. Eliza is not a very strange character, but she's a very different character, and I personally really enjoyed this. I enjoyed Eliza's relationship with her family. I think it really is a true depiction of teenage relations, how they become more complicated with your parents because Eliza and her parents don't really understand what Eliza is doing. Eliza focuses on her internet, but she doesn't want to tell her parents how huge her comic has gone, so her parents keep telling Eliza, get off your computer, get off your phone. They don't understand what it means to Eliza, and Eliza isn't really capable of verbalizing it to her parents, so I feel like that situation can really transform into anything when it comes to teenage years, whether it be an identity crisis or not meshing with your parents for certain things, because we grow and change when we're in a teenage phase, and I feel like Eliza is exactly in that phase, and it is so well done. I also love Wallace, which is kind of the main friendship in this book. Wallace, again, is a very big Monstrous Sea geek. I really enjoyed why he cares for the comic and how much he's involved with it. I enjoyed how their relationship and friendship was very healthy. although Eliza does keep her identity secret, I feel like aside from that, it is all very truthful and they gain very good confidence in each other. It is a very progressive relationship, which I adored, and I have nothing to say that is very negative when it comes to relationships. They were very truthful, very developed. I loved everything about the relationships. I also love the inclusion of like some of the comics and the conversations that went on between Eliza and her online friends, because she also has online friends, and I love the diversity in them because Eliza is a teenager. A lot of online friends, not a lot of friends in school. She does have 2 friends specifically online. One is a Canadian, so that made my heart very happy, and the other one is kind of like a 14-year-old genius. I love the inclusion, and again, very healthy relationships that are, although they are online, I feel like most teens have online relationships now where they talk to people. There was a lot of trust and a lot of listening, where when someone was having a bad day, the others would listen, and when they didn't, they realized that they were being selfish and apologized for those mistakes. So I think that our characters learn a lot through the book, and I really enjoyed that. I love the writing in this book because it is simple, but like at points this book legitimately brought me to tears. There's something that happens in this book that I think it could be triggersome for some people, where characters have very dark ideas. I don't want to say too much, but if you guys are having a very rough time in your life, maybe it's not the best idea to read this book, although this book does deal with these problems very, very nicely. I feel like anxiety and all the other issues are very well addressed in this book, and they do this thing like I learned in school where to make people feel accepted, you kind of have to make it feel normal that your anxiety is normal, and trying to normalize it will make people talk about it, and this really happened in this book. I feel like the author really weaved mental illness in a way that was very, very nicely represented and very, very respectful. This author has a very good respect when it comes to characters and diversity. Our characters, like Eliza is a very special character, and the way that, although she does express like the bullying, which obviously happens when you're different because people do have a really hard time with bullying, she also shows that some people will be very loyal to you, very faithful, and that's all you need in life. Not everyone's gonna like you. This is also addressed in this book, but you kind of just have to deal with it and create yourself a strong backbone, because it's a reality in life, and this book really touches nicely on that not everyone's gonna like you. Eliza doesn't look at the comments in her comments in her comics. That was very hard to say, because she knows that there's a bunch of trolls out there who are just being rude about what she does, and she doesn't want to lose that spark and that passion, so she just ignores it. And I feel like there's a lot to learn with this book, is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm really going off on a tangent, but I feel like this book represents so many valuable things in YA. There's the inclusion of family, the inclusion of fandom, there's the inclusion of having friends and knowing what you want to do in life. There's also doing things for yourself. Wallace's parents aren't really happy that Wallace wants to write, but as soon as you get to learn Wallace's backstory, you understand why he's standing up for himself as much as he is in regards to what he wants to do in life, and that he doesn't want to spend a day in life doing something he doesn't like. All of these things are explored, and for me, it's very rare to find such an author in YA, and I've only had a few where I was like, so many important themes are represented in this book that I like. It is so beautiful, it's so wonderful. This really deserved a 5-star. This has a lot of beautiful moments, some moments that made me cry, some moments that made me laugh out loud. Overall, this is an amazingly well-rounded book with amazing characters, a beautiful family dynamic, a very strong-headed character, and side characters as well. Very, very healthy relations. Like, this book is probably to me one of the most healthy books in YA and non-controversial. Like, I don't see where there could be controversy in this book, aside from maybe a bit of lack of diversity when it comes to racial backgrounds or religious backgrounds, but the book doesn't really touch on any of that. So if that's an issue with you and you really like a lot of diversity, probably not for you. But aside from that, I have nothing negative to say. I love the writing, and I definitely want to pick up her other book, Made You Up. So that's it for my quick review on this book, just to let you guys know everything I loved about it, and I will be back next Tuesday with another review for you guys. Bye!